About 15 months ago, I bought this. A Delta Integrale 8-valve cat. Quite a rare, weird Integrale. It's not turned out to be the most straightforward ownership experience because being a Lancia, it goes wrong the whole time. The most recent problem is that the head has gone porous. I didn't diagnose that. My friends at Tas Motorsport diagnosed that. Anyhow, we need to get the head off the car and it's going to go to Tank Barrett to have either a new head or we'll try and fix the head that's coming off the car. The joke here is that I'm a terrible spanner. I'm not a good mechanic. And they want me to take the head off so they can laugh at me try and do some spannering. So we're going to do that now. Luke knows a lot about these weird Italian cars. Right, so what do we have to do to take... That's the head, right?
Yep.
I know that bit. So for that to come off, what do we have to do?
Complete front end out, radiators off, turbocharger off, intercooler off.
To take the head off, you've got to take the front of the car off.
Yeah.
Why were they allowed to design cars? That's just hopeless. So we're here for a few hours, are we?
Yeah, there we are, yeah.
Great, right, well show me what I've got to do and I'll get down and dirty it and I'll try and do my best, but I don't understand why the whole front of the car has to come off to do that.
Well, first we need to get bonnet off, grill out. And
Bonnet off?
Yeah, makes it a lot easier.
Well, it's going to be a bit of a mess, this, isn't it? I just cannot believe what you've got to do to take the head off. It's ridiculous. You know when the metal goes sort of orange coloured like that, is that a good thing? The whole bumpy as well?
Yep. Yeah, so we've got to get all of this out.
Radiators off as well?
Radiators
Fluids?
off, fluids out.
I'm not sure the lights are connected. They've never really worked. It has the worst lights of any road car I've ever...
To be honest with you, they are all shocking.
I feel like a rally mechanic in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. It's actually, it's quite strange to actually opt to do that. Normally they do that on their own, but we've decided to do that.
I'm quite surprised how much is in there.
There's a lot of it on the floor in the showroom. The fan on the back of that looks absolutely dreadful. Or should I not be scared of the rust?
No,
They all look like that.
It's pretty normal.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of heat down there.
So that's not too bad.
No, that's all right.
In fact, the metal's actually missing there.
Yeah.
How's that coming off then?
So, exhaust off the bottom.
Yeah.
Disconnect the lamp sensor.
Yeah.
Got some oil feeds, some oil returns, some water hoses, some induction hoses.
Yeah.
And then there's a row of bolts around the manifold which bolt to the head.
This was not designed to have a head taken off it regularly.
Give us a thumbs up, Chris.
Sorry, you can't see Luke laughing his head off at the front here because he's turned up in a beautiful black 16-valve Integrale. So he's in that lovely space now where he's thinking, this makes my car look so good. It's a bit like turning up to the bar with your new girlfriend and a mate turns up with his missus and you think, oh, I've done all right here. He's got a 9 outside and we're looking at my 3. Once these few bolts come off, and I quote, the turbocharger will just fall off. This is a bolt that no one thought about. I've not heard a single nice thing said about this little nut here. Everyone hates it. We should have given it a name. It's the devil. It's the devil bolt. But we'll leave that up to Luke. I can't really. So your adjusted spanner won't even work in there now.
No, I don't think it will.
So this is a special Lancia tool. And what they did in Period was they got Uri Geller to come in and get a load of spanners and bend them so they could then fit into weird parts of an Integrale engine bay. That is literally the level of rogueness that has to go on to work on these things.
We'd like to ask for a moment of your time.
Being a Lancia, do you trust what you're levering it against?
Well, I know this bit's new, so it'll be fine.
How many of the head bolts have you undone so far, Chris? Sorry.
Don't ask awkward questions, Neil.
Just checking in.
Look, it's a slow process. Like a great meal, it takes ages to get the ingredients assembled. Then you've got to just let them just simmer together. That means spending 20 minutes on one bolt. 20 minutes. Well, that sounded better.
Yeah.
Was that your knuckle or was that the nut?
No, that was my knuckle.
Is that bolt reason enough not to own one of these cars?
Yeah.
So I love this. So these are passionate Lancia people. Shippy's family steeped in Lancia history, raced them, rallied them, whatever. Luke loves them. Even Tommy loves them. He loves a Lancia. But there's one bolt here that can change their view about an entire brand.
Oh dear. Right, it looks like that we've got coolant ingress into that exhaust port by the look of it. Which could be cracked cylinder head, or the fact that it's porous. And looking at the end of it, it looks like it's had a lot of coolant in there.
To me, that looks like the part where the exhaust manifold meets the engine and there's water coming out of it. It's what they call technically naughty water, because it's water that's got where it shouldn't get. And I think my diagnosis would be that this is mostly fucked.
Yeah, I'd second that, yeah. Definitely.
Another quick update on the head bolts.
Well, we can see them. We actually, for the first time, we can see them now. So I think what we've got here is we've got a nice shell, and the rest of it's rubbish. And normally in a Lancia, I think you've got a nice engine, and the rest of it's rubbish. So I think I've got it the cheaper way round. So can I crack one of these off?
Yeah. Go on, keep going. Those are good noises.
Well, several hours in, we've taken the bolts out.
Now we get to lift it off and see what things we've left connected we shouldn't have done.
There she is. There she is. Well, there you go. That there, that's what happens when you buy what you think is a good value Integrale. Everyone that does that ends up, I reckon, in that situation.
I'd say it's not been in the cylinder.
No?
It's corrosion, that is.
Isn't it?
So there's water's been sat in there.
Yeah. It doesn't look pretty. But then I don't think any engine does look pretty when you crack it open, does it? It's always covered in black stuff. But right, so this is where the two gentlemen of knowledge are now looking at the bores of my cylinders. And they're making lots of cooing noises going, ooh, that's had water in it. And then the immortal phrase, that's coming out. So we're taking the block out as well.
Yeah, I think there are lots coming out, Chris.
I'm just going to go over there and shout fuck loudly. So this was just a plan to get me to spend £15,000 more on making this car go fast, wasn't it?
I thought you understood that when you bought an Lancia.
Why did I think that cracking the head off a Lancia Delta engine wouldn't reveal some level of shite?